welcome to your College of Engineering tour. My name is Michaela Rahman and I'll be your guys' tour guide for today. I'm going to show you guys around the College of Engineering facilities here at UTSA. A little bit more information about me. I am a senior in biomedical engineering, so I'm here to take you guys on the tour. Let's get started. Okay, so now we are in the engineering building, or what we like to call it the EB. So right now I'm in front of the Student Success Center. They help run lots of things on campus for us, as well as the Ambassador Program, which is what I'm a part of right now to give you guys the tour. They help run professional development events like E-Week. We also do lots of things like student organization events, and they also give us a lot of opportunities for scholarships, which is really important for students because, hey, we all want free money. How about I go in and I'll show you guys one of our lecture halls that we also have in here. Okay, so this is one of the lecture halls that we actually have in this building. This building is one of the only engineering buildings that you actually could have classes in. But as you can see, this is actually a pretty small lecture hall compared to most lecture halls that you would see on campus that can hold about 100 to 200 students. These lecture halls in here are specific for engineering students with engineering classes. These classes are like your upper division classes that you would take that are more specific to your major, where you can get down to about 20 or 30 students per classes. So you won't have a lot of classes in here as a first year or second year, but you will get into this classrooms later on into your career as a student here at UTSA. All right, well now let's go to the Tutoring Center where I can show you another part of this amazing building. And now we're in front of the College of Engineering Tutoring Center. This tutoring center is very different than the tutoring centers that you'll find elsewhere on campus. These tutors here are actually students who have taken these engineering courses, who have recently gotten an A in these classes, who can actually help you on your specific engineering courses that you might be struggling with. I have always found it very useful to come to this tutoring center to get a lot of help on homework, as well as find other students who are in my classes and form study groups with these people as well. Now that we've left the engineering building, we're about to enter the Biotechnology, Sciences, and Engineering building, also known as the BSE. But before we go into this building, I want to show you guys our new building that's actually getting built on campus that is going to really help all of our engineering students. We're really excited about this new building, as you can see behind me, that's hopefully going to open in the fall of 2020 for when you guys potentially come to campus. We're very excited as this building will actually have a maker space, as well as providing lots of resources for students, as well as research facilities for students to attend, as well as other faculty and things of that nature. Now let's head over to the BSE. Now that we're inside the BSE, let me tell you some interesting facts about this building. So, first, if you look around the inside of the building, you can actually see there's a gold quote that actually runs around, and it's an Einstein quote. A lot of the things in this building are actually related to Einstein. You can see on the little decorations in the cement walls, things like that. As well as when you look in the atrium, you can see that there's a thumbprint actually in the very center, and it's supposed to represent the thumbprint from Einstein and everything that came from him that manifested from there. You can also see there's lots of study areas down there as well. When we're not on winter break or spring break or anything of that nature, you actually usually see a lot of students that are there studying, eating, doing different things like that. Another thing that's important to note about this building actually is that there's lots of research labs in here. There's many research labs in mechanical engineering, electrical, computer, many different areas here where you can really find your area that you might be interested in. Something else to note about this building is that there's actually no lecture halls in this building. So this isn't a building that you're going to come to have your regular engineering classes. You really will only come here if you want to study, maybe eat at the Einstein Bagels down below, or if you want to come do research. You also might come here as well for the College of Engineering Dean's office. If you ever have any questions where you need to go talk to them, their door is always open and ready to answer any questions you may have. As you guys can see down here, if you look down the hallway, there's actually lots of labs down all these hallways. And if you actually were to go up multiple floors, it's the same hallways that you'll see in all of them where they have plenty of research labs. Let's keep going. So that concludes the main part of the BSc building. That's really all that we are able to show you guys. But we're going to move on to the next building now. We're now about to enter the Applied Engineering and Technology building. This building is also known as the AET. Let's go on inside. Now that we're in the Applied Engineering Technology building, let me tell you a few things about it. So actually over this corridor, if you were to look over here, we actually have the Texas Sustainable Energy. They're actually someone who can be kind of important to you if you're at all interested in anything related to sustainable energy. A fun story here about UTSA actually is that if you were to come and do a main campus tour, you could see that in the middle of the campus we actually have an area called the Sombria. And in the Sombria we have our water fountain. That big waterfall actually used to not run all the time. And the reason was actually because, it was taking too much water and too much energy for the campus, and they said, you know what, we need to shut it down. So actually a group of engineering students for their senior design team actually came to Texas Sustainable Energy and figured out a way that they could actually recycle the water to the library that's actually right next door to where the fountain is, to recycle the water and use the energy so it actually could save energy and water for the university. And the university actually implemented this currently, and now the waterfall keeps running 24/7. Now we're in the first floor of the Applied Engineering and Technology building. As you can see around me, we actually have plenty of tables around here where people can study, sit, socialize, talk with people, lots of things like that. Again, when we're not on break, you'll actually see a lot of students here regularly. Also, if you look over here, you guys can see that we also have our own library. It's the Applied Engineering and Technology building library. It is a specific engineering library, and the reason why it's very specific to us is it's actually a bookless library. And this bookless library is actually replaced with engineering computers in them. These engineering computers actually have MATLAB, SolidWorks, AutoCAD, all those different types of engineering software that you would need as an engineer, and it's all for free, which means that students can access it whenever they need to, as well as their study rooms in there that have glass walls from floor to ceiling actually, where students can use expo markers and write all over them to study and things like that. So you'll see a lot of students doing that actually in this library when it's getting closer to finals. Let's take you guys downstairs to see the other areas down there. Now that we're in the basement of the AET, I'm here to actually show you guys some of the facilities that we have down here that you as students can use. So first we actually have the Digital Experience Lab, as well people know it as the DEX Lab. It is a lab though that actually is lab access only, so you actually need to get access to go in there. But one student organization that actually gets to use this facility is Quality of Life Plus, also known as QO Plus. It's one of the many student organizations that we have on campus that anyone from any College of Engineering discipline can actually join. Also behind me over here, we actually have a computer lab. These labs actually, we have 3 of them down here. They're engineering computers, so they have all the engineering equipment and software and things like that that you would need on a computer, as well as it's also a lecture hall. So you could actually have classes in here as well, where a professor could teach and you could be working on the computer at the same time. Another thing to note back here, actually, if you're in biomedical engineering like me, there's also a teaching lab back in the back corner, which I cannot show you, but it's a teaching lab that we use to do our engineering labs and do wet lab work and things like that. So that actually wraps up our entire tour of the College of Engineering facilities. We want to take the time to answer any questions that you guys might have.
So what is student life like?
So student life can be very fun. I think UTSA has a lot of opportunities just in general as an entire campus for students to find many different things that they want to be involved with. There's plenty of student organizations, whether they're College of Engineering related or just regular, UTSA related. For College of Engineering, we have, the Biomedical Engineering Society, they have the Mechanical Engineering Society, we have ones for specific majors as well as robotics, we have the Ambassador Program, which I'm involved with, as well as, for me personally, I used to be a cheerleader for the university as well, which is obviously not at all engineering related, but I like to explain that just because I think as an engineering student, it's very important to stay, involved with other things and, keep yourself going and find your interests, which I think you really can find here at UTSA.
So what are some housing options for incoming students?
Housing options is a common question that we usually get. So we do have on-campus housing options. I did my freshman year live in one of the on-campus housing options. I live at Chaparral Village, but we also have a floor where you can find lots of engineering students who could be taking the same classes as you when you're first entering as a freshman. If you're not interested in living on campus, which is totally understandable, you could live off campus in student housing options that we have. They're not UTSA affiliated, but they are housing options that are geared towards college students. So you can find a lot of those actually on the perimeter outside of campus. If you need any help finding things like that, you can just look online. You can find plenty of resources there.
So what is the process of transferring credits?
So if you're a transfer student, it depends on what year you might be coming in from. We do get a lot of questions on how easy it is to transfer credits depending on how many credits you might particularly have. For transfer students, usually we tell them to go onto ASAP. ASAP is a place online you can find if you go to utsa.edu. From there, you can actually do a transfer credits to see what state, what college, or what university or community college, see if whatever specific class it is, if it transfers and if it's taken here at UTSA. And if you need any further assistance with that, you can always talk to an advisor on campus.
Are there any research or internship opportunities for engineers?
Yeah, so there's plenty of research opportunities, like I mentioned in the BSc building, as well as this building, the AET that we're still in. There's plenty of research opportunities for students to be involved in. You can easily just email a professor that you might be interested in their research lab, maybe asking them if you can maybe shadow someone for a little bit and see what their research is about. It's a great way to get experience in the beginning to also help you get an internship later. If you want to do internships as well, I would suggest, talking to upperclassmen who are in your class. They can really help you finding companies and things like that, as well as they can give you advice on, if they've worked at specific companies, as well as talking to your professors and participating in the professional development events that we have through the College of Engineering, where we actually have a lot of companies who are coming in who have internship opportunities, where you can easily get a paid internship if you are looking for it.
So what happens if you want to change your major? How does that work?
Yeah, that's another great question. So, sometimes you come into college and you think, you want to do one major and you might be concerned about, I want to go to a different major, which is perfectly understandable. If you want to change your major, the best way to do it is to go talk to your advisor. If you're already in the College of Engineering and you're already in your specific field, I would go to your engineering advisor, but if you are not, you could go to your general advisor that you already have and talk with them.
Thank you.
All right, thanks guys. If you guys have any other questions that you didn't get answered through this tour, please feel free to reach out to anybody in the College of Engineering offices or at the Student Success Center. They'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have. And we look forward to seeing you guys here at UTSA. Go Roadrunners!